Yeah. Okay, so, all right, I've noticed two things. I can only, all right, I can do TikTok, TikTok with, okay, Tobela, Makosi Ndawe, swipe to see real time. Hi, Chanel. Hi, thank you for the like. Okay, all right. I'm loving that. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yes. Ancestors, spirits, and guides, and self-initiation. And Togoza. Yes, I'm trying to see if I can do TikTok live and do it with YouTube. So if you see me looking this side and looking that side, is because I'm trying two things at the same time. Okay. Yes, self-initiation, what it is all about, and how it works very well with our ancestors, how they train us, and stuff like that. And sometimes there are different ways that we get to be trained as self-initiate. I am talking as someone who is a self-initiated healer, and yes, I can share my experiences as well and how my self-initiation went. So I'm living it and how it is like as well being a mentor to the self-initiate. So I'll be talking about the two different ways that we self-initiate. And Tomela this side, YouTube, and greetings there, TikTok. Okay, I finally look at you live. Yes, Tomela. Yes, so two different ways of self-initiation. And let me see if this can go up. So I'm looking at almost the same things. Okay, yes. Now I'm looking at two things at the same time. At least they're aligning. All right. So different ways of self-initiation and getting self-initiation through a mentoring where your ancestors send you to someone to help you understand the messages that they're sending you. But sometimes they do the self-initiation on their own, meaning that your ancestors, no one from outside. So it is you and the voices from within, your ancestors' voices training you and their dreams. So sometimes they will get someone, they will send you to someone, but sometimes they will do everything themselves, meaning that they will be talking to you as your mentor will do, and they will be giving you dreams and explaining the dreams themselves. And yes, that is self-initiation. And sometimes they'll start you with only dreams until you know, until they see that you need more help from externally from outside, and then that's when they send you to someone, or someone comes to you, sent by your ancestors to help you, right? So, but the things that we need to do as people who are self-initiating is we need to remember that things like being fearful, it needs to come out. The fear of things that are happening around, things that are happening to you, to your body, the things that you're hearing, the voices that you're hearing, the different voices of your ancestors that you're hearing, that doubt, it needs to go. When you are self-initiating, it needs to go. It takes time, but that is one thing that you need to overcome. Okay, that bit. And as well, when you're self-initiating dreams, remember that when ancestors are sending you dreams, it means that they are there. They are there. They are there in the dreams, giving you information as in the dream format. They're using you as your image. You see yourself right in the dream, and then you see other people like family members, sometimes people that you don't know. Those people, they're playing roles, playing roles to give a message to you, meaning that your ancestors, they want you to get a message. So they create a scenario in the dream state to give you that message. So what you do is, if you don't understand, you need to go back as you partner or as you pray. You need to tell them what it is that you understand by the dream that they gave you. You need to tell them, let's say you saw yourself driving a car. You don't understand what it meant. So what it means is that you have to tell your ancestors that I saw myself doing this. What does this mean? What does driving a car mean? From my experiences of seeing people driving cars or me driving a car, when I did what I did in the dream, I looked at it as I'm reflecting. I see it as it means this to me, so that your ancestors can correct you. They can give you information, corrected version of it. So if they think you don't understand what it means to be driving a car in the dream, they will bring it in a different way. They will recreate the scenario in a different way for you to understand, because they will have looked at you to see where you are finding it difficult. Or sometimes you hear them. You'll hear a message as if someone saying something to you, right? As you're reflecting back to them what you think the dream meant, you'll hear the right meaning of your dream, as in they will say something to you. So that is when we say that doubt should go very, very fast. If you're self-initiating, it should go very, very fast. You should try by all means to trust yourself and whatever that you're hearing at the time. Okay, that is self-initiation. And if they see that you are really struggling and you need someone out there to help you, because remember that we need people as well, and sometimes there are certain things that we need to be able to be triggered. Like sometimes our chakras cannot properly be activated without something being triggered, a reminder of something. But sometimes we can't do it on our own. Our ancestors cannot do it on our own. So we are directed towards someone who will be able to, when they are talking to you, they will trigger something within you, right? They will make you think about certain things in a particular way, right? That is when ancestors are sending you to mentors. Anyway, okay. And we decide now. Okay. How do people come to you? What does that look like? How do people come to you? Okay. If you come into me, that means your people would have given you permission to come to me. First, you ask them permission. I like the idea of me helping you. You ask your people to look into me, then they look into me to see if I can help you or I cannot help you. It's as simple as that. And we should listen to your ancestors. If they think someone cannot help you, that means that that person cannot help you at that particular time when you need their help. But it doesn't mean if they are saying they cannot help you now, it means even a month's time they're not going to be helping you. They're not going to be able to help you. Sometimes, depending on what your ancestors need help with, it means at that time when they need it, that person is unable to help deal with that particular situation or that particular issue that you have. So remember that ancestors will guide you depending on where you are at that particular moment, as in your spiritual path. Anyway, another thing as well is distractions. Distractions. They come in different ways as self-initiate. They come in different ways. You get distracted by too many things, right? So that is why we see a lot of us, our ancestors, will take us from what we are used to, the known, what we are used to. So they put you, like what we sometimes say is that, you lose a lot of things that you're used to. You lose a lot of material things. You lose a lot of friends. You become like a loner in a way. so that they can spiritually deal with you. So you can be less distracted by external things. So you can face what is inside, right? You can look and face the inside challenges instead of facing external and inside challenges, meaning that things are outside to being influenced by others, how people say things, like sometimes, let's say maybe they're taking you off your work. So they'll take you off that because sometimes with the comfort of getting something that we are so used to, getting a regular income, getting that, it distracts us from having to deal with our inner issues sometimes. So that's why you see a lot of us self-initiate. When we're going on the path, those things, they go. They go. So you can deal with the things that are related to you. You can heal first before. Remember that it doesn't mean that it is full being taken away from what you're used to. It means it's like a permanent thing. For others, it's not. It's just a temporary thing. Maybe you're doing the initiation, then afterwards, then you go back to whatever that you were doing before, as in work, where you get income, or you continue on your spiritual path. Remember, because sometimes being initiated doesn't mean that you're initiated to become just a traditional healer. Sometimes you can be initiated and be excelling in whatever that you were doing before, but you do it better because now you're more spiritually aware of things, everything that is happening around you. Okay, that is just that. And I was trying TikTok and to see how TikTok works this side. Anyway, yes, that is what we are here about, ancestral things and stuff like that. And how are you guys getting on there? I haven't left you the YouTubers. I'm trying to get familiar as well there with the TikTok and how it works. Anyway, so yes, so you'll have to initiate with your ancestors. You'll have to initiate with your water spirits. You have to initiate with different other beings. Remember that initiation doesn't mean that you do something for 3 months or 6 months and it stops. It is an ongoing thing. So you might find that every year you go through spiritual development kind of training in different ways, depending on how your ancestors work. So you'll find that if you're getting an update of something to make you grow spiritually, you'll find that you take your time as well. It will take you away from regular things that you were getting used to as in your spiritual path, and then it's like you're going through another different kind of ascension. So things like that, as in to develop spiritually. Remember that we are learning. Learning is an ongoing thing, so it's not like something that happens now then that is the end of it. So you continue learning, getting an update, because it's spirituality, isn't it? It's not like you're gonna be like a focus on one thing and that is it. Spirituality means that you get used to something, then as you're getting used to it, then they realize that you've grown, isn't it? So you have to go further up spiritually. You have to get more information. So the more information you get, the more wisdom you get, the more your ancestors as well excel spiritually as well. They go further as well. So it is the evolution of your soul journey and purpose. So how are you doing it? I have a gift that I have been practicing. I had a dream I was having trouble using this gift. What do you think it means? Share your dream. Let's hear what it is all about. Tell us what your dream is all about, so we can talk about it. So when you get in dreams, remember that sometimes in these dreams we will be healed. Dreams come in as in we'll be taught about things that are happening to us spiritually, like things that we are unsure of. The information will come to us in the dream state, as in telling us what is happening to us spiritually, as in teaching. Sometimes the dream will be teaching, as in things that you have to know that you can use as in for healing, if you'll be becoming a healer, healing methodology kind of things, how you will be working with others, how you'll be healing your communities and stuff like that. But some people, they are not even there for healing. They'll be there to help. Their soul spiritual path is different than others. So you learn about what it is that you're here for, right? So in the dreams, you'll get instructions, you'll get teachings, you'll get to be corrected about things that are happening to you in your day-to-day life. You get all the guidance in the dream state. So your ancestors as well, when they come in the dream state, they introduce themselves. They'll introduce themselves. Remember, when we're talking about ancestors, we are not talking about our immediate ancestors that we know, people that we know who lived before us that we know. We are talking about the generation even further up, the ones that we don't even know. So some of them, they might not even speak the language that we speak now. So all we have to do is we ask, who is this person that I'm seeing in the dream state? And what language is it that you're speaking to me? Because I do not understand it. So how does it relate to me? So they can tell you. Now that's when they go into your identity. So that's when they go and tell you about who you are as a person. So it will go in different ways, the stages as well, as your ancestors tend to help you with your personal issues as well. They are letting you know about them. Remember that we have to know about who we are, history as well, where we come from. We need to know about the past, our ancestors' past, and our present, the lineage as well, how it is now. Where do we fit in, right? So for us to understand those bits, so that when we look forward, you can't look forward without having to understand the roots, what hold you together, the grounding, where we go to the root chakra. So they will have to go and make sure that they make you know who you are, where you come from, how do you relate to what is happening around you, and then further up, what can you do so that when you go further up spiritually, you'll be grounded. You'll be grounded. You can't be grounded if you're still suffering. You're still there's certain things that are still holding you backwards, as in there are things that they're unsettling for you. That is when they come with healing you, the person, healing you, making you stronger, right? It's not about the trauma, not about the experiences that you have that were not good, but as well making you stronger as an individual. That's when our ancestors are showing us our imperfections, things that are not right with us, so that when we change or we correct those or we adapt to better things that will make us better human beings, so we'll be stronger. So we can't be like people who are like taken. If someone comes and say, let's go this way, you turn around, you go that way, even though it's not the direction you're supposed to be going, right? So when you're facing the path where you're supposed to be going, if someone's trying to distract you and say, go this way, you can say no, because my path is about going forward in this way, not going around in circles, right? That is when our ancestors make us strong. Okay. Oh, the TikTok thing goes too fast. And greetings, the people there. I'm still trying to catch up there. It is something that is going too fast for me. But remember, I'm here as well. So I'm trying to catch up as, we'll get there. We'll get used to this, to the system, two different kind of system. The same way as we get used to talking to ancestors and spirits, two different systems working differently, but for our benefit. So we get used to it. Practice makes perfect, right? The same way as understanding our ancestors and their dreams. Practicing talking to them, talking back to them and reflecting back to them makes us better at talking, communicating with them on a real time basis where we hear them. And we don't have taking away the doubts. That is what I'm doing here. I drowned myself underwater in the sea. A white woman gives me excuse me, gives me a gift. Give back is black with an, okay, black with what? An image of a flame. When I looked up, I saw a what? A giant sea tortoise looking at me. Oh, a giant sea tortoise. Okay, what is your question, Susiso? What is your question? You sound like a spirit, water spirit dream. Sea water spirit dream. But what is your question? Okay. While we're waiting on that side, we'll be going to different circles. All right. The message, I was trying to show people I can make it rain, but it was not working. Okay. Okay, what was the dream? Where did it start? Okay. All right. So that means your people might have that gift, rain making gift, but that means then they have to teach you how to do it. So they're making you aware of your gift and the skill that you'll have as a person. Remember that the rainmakers, they have to teach you how to make it rain, but sometimes they will show you the level that you are in. If they want to make you become aware that they are rainmakers, they'll make you trying to make something, isn't it? Making it rain. But then to show you that you do not yet have the right skill to do it, they'll show you trying to do it and it not working. So all you just have to do is go back to them. Please help me do this. How do you make it rain? How did you do it? What can I do myself? What are the things, the rules of rainmaking? Meaning that as a rainmaker, what do we do? You can't just wake up in the morning and say you're going to make it rain, right? There are certain things as people that we're supposed to do. The preparations, we're supposed to prepare ourselves. There are certain ways that we have to live before we do that ritual, right? So they'll teach you that if you don't do those things, if you don't prepare yourself beforehand, you don't do this, you don't do the cleansing and stuff like that. I'm just giving you an example. You don't do the, as in preparation, cleansing this way, doing these things that you do, talking to ancestors, as in they're preparing you for the day ahead. This is, we do day 1, we do this. Day 2, we do this. Day 3, we do this. Day 7 is the big event, the rainmaking day, right? So everyone would have been preparing like this. Then on the day, we do this. But then if you don't do the preparation, you just wake up on 7th day and you just say, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do my stick like this to make it rain. Then you have issues. Right? You'll have issues. That is when you see in those dreams, they will show you. Anyway, that is just that. And Tobela Mandawe, I dreamt being given a code. Okay, I need to bring this closer to me. I dreamt being given a coat. One side was black and one was yellow. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, I think with a white cross, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if I should get the code or what, because this one lady I was depending on for spiritual guidance says it is best spirit, so I'm a bit confused. Okay, now this is when, let me give you an example with self-initiation and mentoring, right? Or self-initiation and even if you're not self-initiating, even when you're not self-initiating, you're with a gobela. Remember that your ancestors, your spirits, and your guides are the ones who are giving even the gobela or the mentor the information about you, right? Your ancestors, your spirits, your guides, they're the ones giving you the gobela or the mentor information about you. So your ancestors cannot give you information that they know. It will be like saying to you that your gifts are like this. We need this particular growth. And then when you're sharing that gift with your gobela or with your mentor or your teacher, whatever, however you call them, and that person says to you that your ancestors got it wrong, then which ancestors do you rely on? Your ancestors or someone else's ancestors? Now, when it comes to black, black is very beautiful as a color in an ancestral, in our spiritual path. Some people, they are scared of black, but black, there are so many connotations with black because of where we come from and the experiences of our people and the experiences that we had. Anything black, people have grown to have a bad connotation around it, like a bad misinterpretation around it. So if your ancestors are showing you your cloth, remember that the way that they show us our cloth, sometimes they will show us a cloth with just a dress as it is with the colors that they want. And then they'll show you a cross because obviously they know that you'll understand when you see a cross. For you, the association of a cross is a church, right? So all it just means is that for that cloth, it means there will be a church around it. And remember that I'm not talking about Christian church. I'm talking about a church as in a place where you will have a community of people coming in together with you, the knowledge and the wisdom of your ancestors, sharing that within that congregation or with that community of people. So even your healing will be around that kind of thing. But some people, when they see a cross, they associate it with Christianity. But I'm talking about ancestors using what we know so that we understand that there will be a bit of where you're going to be like a priest or a priestess working with others. So meaning that your healing, when you heal people, you'll be able to heal when people are congregating. So you'll be able to heal in that way as well. So that's when your gift comes with that. Okay. But I can't say anything about someone and how someone say things about what they see, right? That'll be different. Tobela, great to see you here. The usual on the other side. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here. I'm getting used to this one as well. The messages are going so fast this side, and I actually don't understand. I can just see joined, and I don't understand it. Wow, looks like there's some hearts there as well. So that's beautiful. It looks like there's some beautiful things there. You have to bear with me this side, TikTok people. I'm trying. And greetings there. I am not ignoring you. I'm just trying to get used to this. Okay. 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 Let's see. Looks like I can even click on people's names and join as well as I'm doing this. Yes. So remember that your ancestors, especially, remember, when it comes to our ancestors, this is where we talk about fear. Fear. When you're working with your ancestors, the fear should come out. Fear that you're gonna be bewitched. Fear that bad things are gonna happen. Fear of those kind of things, they should go. This mentality should go. Should just be out of the way, because that mentality is gonna block a lot of things. Anything that is happening that is unusual around you is gonna be messing you up. Remember when we were talking about spirituality, things that are happening to us, they are not gonna be normal things. Logically, they are not gonna be explained in a normal way. What I'm talking about, especially when we see things, the energy around us changing, when we see things happening around us, for a moment you're there, everything is normal. For a moment things changes. It's like you're not looking with your physical eyes. For a moment, some chances they just happen like quickly like that. For others, people are easily aligned like that. So it's not like that trends where things happen to your body, right? You get some kind of an alarm saying your body's about to go into this kind of thing. You're about to go into your spiritual bit of things, right? So some cleansing, they can just happen like that. You're in the, it's daytime, right? You can see it's daytime, it's 1 o'clock. Daytime, there's no darkness outside. Even in the house, you can see this. You don't even need a light, right? And then all of a sudden it gets dark. Because it's like, that's how you're trancing. You're trancing, things get dark. There's a change in the environment around you. Change happens. And you start feeling things around you. Or seeing, right? Spiritually seeing things around you. And then if you have a problem of that, where you believe in witchcraft too much, you might be confused. And then you start running away from your own ancestors, your own spirits, people who will be able to guide you on your day-to-day. You get scared because you associate things that are unknown to you with things that we cannot talk about on this live session, right? So remember that sometimes these things, they need to go. These kind of fears, they need to go. We need to be wholeheartedly, we need to trust. We need to trust that our people, they've got our best interests at heart. We need to trust and be able to be guided, right? Now, even with the mentors as well, some mentors as well, they can have their own fears and they throw their fears, they affect the way that they work with others. So they use their fears because they haven't healed properly. Remember that it's all about not being healed properly. If you're still not healed properly, you'll use the fear and then use that fear on someone else, right? So you always have to make sure that you listen to what your ancestors are saying. And if they think you're in the wrong place at the time, you change. Because they can send you to someone, and then if someone behaves differently than the way that they were before, your people will see that that place is no longer, or that person is no longer good for you and good for your spiritual growth. So they will take you out of there. They move you from there. So remember that you always have to be guided by your people. If they are not yet talking to you, you always have to look at the dreams, right? Every conversation you have with your mentor, if you're self-initiating, every conversation you have with your mentor at night, if your people, they think that was not good, that was not good, in the dreams, they'll show you if you're getting lost. If that conversation you had is getting you lost, you will see even in the dreams that whatever that you're discussing is now getting you lost, right? So if that is not corrected, your ancestors will show you all the time getting lost, because this is no longer taking you anywhere further, but making you lost. You're getting lost in your spiritual path. So metaphorically getting lost. So they'll do that, show you that you're metaphorically getting lost, right? So that means the conversation that you're having every day, even interpreting dreams with your mentor, is getting you lost, right? So we need to always be guided. Then you ask them, so what do you think I should do now that you're showing me this? So that is when your ancestors will show you that, I think you had enough time. And we are thankful that you were there, you learned what you were supposed to learn, but now we think it's about time, right? You spread your wings somewhere else, or just with us. You have to make sure that your intuition is really fully functioning. Anytime they send you somewhere, or even when they're still there with you, remember that you don't give everything. Remember that the whole thing is about getting to the stage where you are independent of the extra help, independent of the support you're getting from outside, so that you can go to the support within. So you have to practice taking the support from outside so that you can get the support from within, because within you cannot get lost. Outside, there are different things that can affect people on a daily basis, right? You cannot You cannot control what an outside help is doing, right? You cannot control it. Things can happen that changes people. But with our people, whatever happens, they will always be there with you, guiding you, even if you are doing the wrong things, even if you are not guided properly. When I'm saying you're not guided properly, it means that even if you are becoming a nuisance, okay, like we sometimes with our own ancestors, remember it's our own ancestor, we have to be ourselves. Sometimes we become like we become uncontrollable, but our people will never leave us, isn't it? Because they are there for our best. They're there to make sure that we look at things the right way. Yeah, we can become like an uncontrollable chaos as people, right? We can, to our ancestors, we can become like that, like a car that can easily be, you can just control it with the steering wheel, but then we become, because of the things that are happening outside, uncontrollable, right? But we have to trust that we've got the guidance of our ancestors, our spirits, our guides, and the source. So we need to rely on that and not rely too much on external things and rely a lot on our own people. And even if they're sending us to someone to guide us, the person is supposed to be guiding us to be strong in listening to our ancestors, our spirits and guides, not strong in being relying on them, right? We're not supposed to be people who rely on people from outside. We're supposed to be relying on our ancestors, spirits, and guides. So whoever that they send us to should be the person to make us be strong in that regard. Like, trust your ancestors, your spirits, and your guides. Okay. Oh gosh, it's cold in here. Gosh. Whew. This room is cold. Yeah. There's no heating here. Whew, it's so cold. Okay. You might be asking, why am I saying it's too cold? Why can't I put the heating on? It's a room that it has never had a heat. It was not meant to be a room to live in. It was meant to be a room that is used, utility room. You go and come out. You go in and come out, not to stay for long. Anyway, I was guided to the okay. Someone is saying something here. I was guided to use what? Menorah that holds 7 candles. Oh, okay. With certain colors. Have you heard of this before with ancestors self-initiated? Yeah, you can be guided to use different colors. Yes, if you're gonna need all the colors for your people to have them lead together, yes, you can use that. I buy those ones just because sometimes I just want to have too many light going on. But if your people show you that you need to have this color, this color, this color, this, remember that all the colors, they are working the same way as sometimes we wear different ancestral clothes to attack certain things. Even those, when I'm saying attack, I mean like to deal with certain things. So they'll use different color that you need to use for that particular reason. Or even if it's just one color. So if you need to have 7, all of them lead together, there will be a reason for that, and the reason for your ancestors to have that 7 different kinds of energy and light coming out for whatever reason that your ancestors have. Remember that when they are showing you something that they want you to get, it means that they will give you information as in relation to why you need to have that. I've only heard of someone having been guided to light different color candles at one go. I've never been advised to do that myself. Okay, are they ancestral spirits that cause an abscess in your gums? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Remember that you, anytime that you have anything that is something that, like something on your body, you need to get it checked. You need to get it checked to make sure that it's nothing serious, right? It's nothing serious before we go spiritual. As me, I'm only advising on spiritual things, meaning that's things that I can only talk about theory, right? But things to do with your body, you need to get it checked first to make sure that it's nothing serious, right? We don't want to have healers dying out of, or self-initiate dying before they could even wake because they left something to go untreated because they thought it was related to spirituality when it was not. So just get it checked so that you rule out anything else. Or sometimes even your ancestors, they can tell you if you've got issues, right? They can tell you. But remember that get it medically looked at as well. Or if there are healers who are able to deal with it, get them to deal with it. Okay. And good afternoon there. And okay. Oh, what is happening? Just got the #1 gifter badge. Wow, I have no idea what it means, but thank you. Thank you. We're getting #1 gifter badge. I don't know what it means, but thank you. Thank you. Well, we'll learn as we go on, isn't it? I want to know, okay, ask which spirit I work with. Okay, that is Kenny. Are you asking me a question to tell you which spirit you're working with, Kenny? Is that the question you're asking me? How do I cleanse after being intimate with an ex? That is different. Okay, we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you, MA. We'll talk to you properly. Let's just get on the other things. Okay. We'll talk with you. We'll go to the morality bit of things first, and then we'll then go into the cleansing bit. Okay. All right. Someone is saying, Amon, hele wena self-initiate swanetje ho dira eng, please ke kgopela karabo tle. All right. Remember that if you're self-initiating, it means that your ancestors, spirits and guides will self-initiating, right? That means you become your ancestors' patient, right? Mtwasan. If they're the ones training you, right? Your ancestors will tell you that you are a sick person. They will tell you, even in the dream, if they're not talking to you yet, that you are a sick person now. They're gonna be helping you, right? Now, if when they're helping you, they see that you're still struggling, even though they're trying to guide you, right? Like you don't understand certain things, information that they give you in the dream state. Even when you're reflecting back to them, there's still some issues that you're not dealing with. And sometimes, remember, when something is affecting us too personally, we are unable to reflect on our own without someone from our side, external help. That is why you see a lot of us self-initiate, even though we will have our ancestors talking. We'll have our ancestors talking to us where we hear them. I'm not talking about when you're talking in dreams, because I had ancestors who were talking. So I didn't have to be even asking about what does this dream mean. They will just come and tell me, this dream will mean this and that, or this dream is going to come. In this dream, you have to look at this. And then after the dream, they come and say, did you see what we were telling you about? Did you see that thing that was happening in the dream? We meant like this, like that. But sometimes when it comes to having to now deal with your personal stuff, Your ancestors, they can see that when they're talking to you, you're still not facing yourself as you're supposed to, like dealing with issues, deep issues to heal, in order to heal. So what they'll do, for some of us, like we are given someone like a spiritual mentor. It comes in as in Lerato Lamoya, who will deal with the issues that we are struggling with, will help us connect the bit within us that needs to be connected, will help us look at the things. They'll become like our mirror image, so we can look at them and reflect the things that our ancestors need us to reflect it. But sometimes if you don't have that person, your ancestors will send you to a mentor, which will be like a healer, someone who has already had an experience, so they know the things that when your ancestors are giving you a message, what they mean. They know and they will understand the things that you are finding it hard to reflect, especially looking at yourself, right? So that you can heal properly. So that person will be able to trigger you a little bit, even when it becomes uncomfortable, but they'll be there, even when you're being pushed away, as in when they're talking to you, you like, because sometimes when people are telling you the truth, you don't want to hear, and sometimes you can hate the fact that the person who's giving you the message, the way they are saying it, you don't want to hear it, isn't it? That's why you'll find that mentee-mentor relationship, sometimes you're even struggling with your mentor, because when they are showing you the bit of yourself that you don't want to see or you don't want to face, that bit becomes a problem. But then a good mentor will even see where you're struggling with, will try to help you come a little bit into facing all the fears that you have, or dealing with the issues that you have, right? That's where you need someone from outside, right? So that is when it is like that. But if your ancestors are just training you just in dreams, so you just have to work with them with the dreams, as in they're giving you dreams, you reflect the dreams back to them until they see that it is necessary now. They come and now talk to you, right? That is, we're talking about self-initiation now. They come and talk to you. But if they haven't yet come to talk to you, sometimes they will direct you to a mentor. And when they do, as well, if you're not sure if that's what they're doing, you just have to keep on asking. Or if you find it difficult, they haven't yet sent you to a mentor, you find it difficult on your own, you can ask your ancestors, can I go to this person to help me deal with my spiritual things, to help me, to mentor me? So that's when your ancestors will give you permission. So someone from outside can help you. But before they give you permission, you should not go to someone just because you like them. You should always go to someone with the permission of your ancestors, right? Because the ancestors will see, because not everyone can help you with your ancestors. Not everyone can do that. Okay, what's happening on this side? Okay. We enjoying working, multitasking. We enjoy driving two different cars at the same time. I'm driving the TikTok car and driving the YouTube car at the same time. I'm multitasking, and I'm trying to see if these two cars can take me to the same direction the same destination that I want to go to at the same time. So I'm in position of two cars at the moment. I'm multitasking. And the goal is to get to the same destination, to connect with our ancestors, spirits and guides, so that we don't find it difficult in this spiritual path. But bear with me, because multitasking is not an easy thing, especially if you're using two vehicles. One you're used to, which is the YouTube car, and one is I'm not familiar with, which is the TikTok car. But if I keep on driving it, navigating it the way that I'm supposed to navigate it, I'm going to get used to it. So I'll be able to have one hand in this car and one hand in this car, right? And I'll be doing so well. That is how I'll get there, right? So you bear with me. Okay. All right. Someone wants to know about Nzuza. Okay. I can't tell you if you have which spirit you have. What happens is that if you're coming to this live session, if you really want help from me, you need to ask your ancestor spirits and guides. You tell them that you come to these live sessions that I do impromptu, right? You tell them to look into Moholo Makuze Makulu Tlukhulu and can you tell me what is happening in my spiritual path? What spirits do I have? Right? What water spirits do I have? Can she be able to tell me what I have? So when you come here, you'll come with your dreams. You use this opportunity to share, and then I'll be able to tell you, oh, this is this, this is this, because you would have asked your people for permission. So when they're giving you the dreams, I will get it. I'll be so open when I'm looking at your dreams to tell you what is actually happening to you, right? Which is something that you can do with consultation. If you're coming to me direct, I can do that. But if you're using this spiritual advice session to understand yourself, you can do that. Ask your people before you come here, so when they give you something, you can share. Then I'll be able to look into it for you. And that's why you see when I'm talking to people here on these sessions, sometimes you see me, I'm just giving them the spiritual advice, just flows like that. It's because they've asked their people for permission. So when I'm talking to them, I just open spiritually, because the way I work with my ancestors is that I have my spiritual path is that people have to ask permission from their own ancestor spirits and guides before they even come to me. That is what I'm here to promote. Promoting that you do not rely on someone else but your ancestor spirits and guides. Not relying on me but your ancestor spirits and guides. So that's why I keep on saying ask permission before you do anything with me. Okay. So I was answering Kenny. Since 2008 till now, 5 people bampuditse ka bongaka tshupi ba bangwe ba re ke phase go thabeng till now ke nagana le go latlhela tulo gale ke ya le bathong ke lebala ditoro. Remember, sometimes us as well as healers, yes, we can get too excited. We can get too excited as we are out there, walking out there on the street. Our people show us things that we are seeing on other people. And the next thing we do is we just, out of excitement, say, hey, Mandawe, hey, how's your Mandawe spirit? Because that's what we are seeing, isn't it? We get too excited, we say those things. But remember that it's not everyone and not everyone's ancestors will be too excited either to be receiving information like that. Sometimes it's good that we are able to acknowledge that bit for someone, right? But sometimes it's not all of our people don't like these kind of things. The way that we give people information, we have, even as healers, to ask permission. Are you okay for me to share this with you? Are you okay for me to share this with you? And when you're talking to someone, when you're sharing information, important information with someone, you remember that you're not only talking to that person alone, right? You're talking to that person and their ancestors and their spirits. So as someone says, oh, I'm fine, you can tell, I'll rephrase. When we are out there, when we get messages from our people and someone wants, you get messages like that. You ask someone for permission to give them the message that you're receiving as a healer. Let's say on the street, in the shops, anywhere else. You ask the person if it is okay for you to share the message that you have with them. How do they feel about it? How do they feel about receiving this from you? Right? And if someone allows you to do it, then you say, I am saying this, I'm seeing this, I'm getting this message, but please go back to your people to ask if the message that I'm giving you is what they wanted to get, right? And if the message I'm saying to you is true, right? So that we don't become like healers with the final say when it is the ancestors of that person with the final say, right? So we need to do that as people so that we help each other become what? Strong individually, strong, right? With the guidance of the people that we're working with. Because if people get used to be hearing from others, it becomes difficult to trust their people solely before someone else confirms the message that their people have said. But if we keep on reminding people that the final message comes directly from their people, so people get stronger into telling people outside. Even if anyone says something to them, they will say, let me confirm first with my ancestors, spirits, and guides if what you're saying to me is what they wanted me to get. Right? That's how it is like spiritually. We have to be strong in that way, in trusting our guidance from our ancestors, spirits, and guides, not guidance from other people from outside. So that is just that. So I was answering about the getting information from a lot of people. Now, remember that giving up is not ideal, is it? Giving up is not ideal on the spiritual path. Yes, some challenges, like sometimes waiting around for too long, it can take you to the bit where you feel this is just ridiculous. This is not going anywhere. It's not getting me anywhere, right? That it happens to a lot of it happens to even us who are waking, right? Doubts. Sometimes it pops in, especially when you feel like certain milestone needs to have been reached by now. But if you don't feel like they're supposed to have been reached, then you become impatient. That is when we have to be patient in our spiritual path. Patient is very important. Patient is very important. It's necessary in our spiritual path. Because when it comes to our ancestors, spirits, and guides, there's no like a timeline like where ancestors, they will tell you that after 3 weeks, this would have happened, right? After 3 weeks, this would have happened. Because when it comes to time, spiritual timeline and physical timeline, sometimes they do not correspond. Sometimes they do correspond, but sometimes they don't, right? Meaning that sometimes you can see something happening, like as in happening spiritually, like it is happening today. And something is being shown to you that it is happening as in right now, right? In spiritual, I'm talking about. Spiritually, I'm not even talking about metaphors. Spiritually, that they are showing you that something is happening right now. This is happening right now. And if you're looking at that, as in, I'm not even talking about dreams, I'm talking about ancestors when they're talking to you. This is happening right now. And if sometimes you forget that bit, that ancestral timeline, spiritual timeline, sometimes doesn't correspond as in a format where it is like 60 minutes is an hour, right? If someone's saying something's going to happen within 60 minutes, physically, it will happen within 60 minutes. But spirituality sometimes doesn't correspond with that bit of the logical side of things as in physical timeline, right? So we need to be able to be patient, especially when we believe that things are supposed to be happening by now. Now, Ngakatsupe, I think that's what you talked about. Ngakatsupe is a different one, isn't it? I explained Ngakatsupe in I don't know much about Ngakatsupe. All I know with Ngakatsupe was the explanation of what Ngakatsupe is all about. I don't know the stages that Ngakatsupe goes through. I do not understand it in that term. I haven't yet worked. I've worked with someone recently who is Ngakatsupe, but I do not understand They're training properly. As in training, I can say that the training work happens like this, in this way, in a way that I can explain it. I don't have that kind of information. But all I can say is that you have to be patient in the spiritual path. And Mandawe, it's not a Mandawe. Watching from Swaziland, oh, we love the Swatis. Remember, we love everyone, but we love knowing where we are being watched from. Okay, I missed your lives, Gogo. Ah, you're here, you're here, we're seeing you. Okay, all right. When I get, okay, I think I might have to start using this. My glasses so I can read properly from far. Okay, someone is talking about the journey is a hard and lonely one. Yes. It is not easy. It's never easy. Wow, I'm actually loving these badges that are being sent in that other side. Wow, what are these badges? Gifter badge. I'm loving that. I know that. How are you? I'm very good. Thank you. I'm thankful for those gifter badges, which even now I don't know what they mean, but I'll get to know as time goes on. Thank you. And wow, how many laughs I'm getting there. Thank you for the hearts. Is that how you do the heart? Thank you for the heart. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Go when I get. I said I was going to talk to someone about cleansing, isn't it? I'll talk about that. I think I'll do the video on that one on its own. I'll answer you, and I'll answer that. The one that someone's talking about. What do you do? Remember, as a human being, we have our needs. So what do we do after those needs have been fulfilled? Now we are like, oh, we become aware that we are spiritual beings. So we did something morally that we believe that might not be good for us, and working with ancestors. So how do we cleanse, right? We'll talk about it properly. Let's just get this quickly out. Okay. When I get drunk, I start to tell people things about themselves, and tomorrow I feel bad because I told them stuff they think it is secrets. Now you see that is when it's wrong, isn't it? Is that bad? Yes, it is bad. It is bad. It is bad. Alcohol or not, it is bad. Remember that you're talking about you are able to access the knowledge when you're under the influence, and then when you're under the influence, you're able to reach your people and get the people to hear their messages. Then you want to know if it's good or bad, right? So how are you giving this? What kind of ancestors or spirits? Remember that when you're telling people any information, anything that is too personal, like things that you're saying, if they are secret things, people, they are things that they don't want, they are not yet ready to even talk about or even discuss. But then with your drunk spirit, I apologize, I don't mean drunk spirit. I meant you drunk, right? You under the influence, but then you are able to quieten the chatters and reach your ancestors faster, because the influence of whatever that you're drinking is taking you there faster than the normal way of doing things, right? When I'm saying normal way, the ones that other people are used to, right? Are you telling people information discreetly? Do these people want to hear this information at the time when you're telling them? Did you even ask permission to give these people information? Do you actually even follow them up to see if the information you were giving them, they were okay to hear them and how they've taken it, right? Because remember, the reason why we do consultation is that I'm just talking about how I do things. The reason why you do consultation is that someone would have asked permission from their people. When they are coming to you, that means they are ready to hear information, whether it is good or bad. Now, as a healer, you can tell that when someone was receiving that information, that person, when they go with that information, they are not going to be fine. Therefore, you make a way that you follow back. After consultation, you follow back because you have known that the information you've given them, it requires you as a healer to follow back to see that the person is okay after the information, right? You follow back. This is you using your intuition to follow back. It's nothing to do with anything else, but you, after you've given them certain things, you follow back. Now, if you're drunk, do you have all that the things that I'm talking about? Do you have you can sense that, oh, okay, I've given these people, I've told these people the things. Now, have they received them good, in good spirit? Are they okay with it? Or you just happy, you got drunk, you gave them information, whatever happens, happens. And then you wait again to get drunk again. Give them a follow-up or follow up on them. Or how do you do it? Now, it becomes bad if it is inconveniencing others. It becomes bad if it is even inconveniencing you and your ancestors, because they have to wait for you to be under the influence before they can do their work. And then they work in places they're not supposed to be working just because, remember, depending on how you feel about it. It is about you. If you think that is good for you, then it's different. But if you're asking me, and I'm just thinking about how drunk people can be like, and especially when they are drunk and become too spiritual, how they can be like. And sometimes when they are drunk, I've only ever seen one person drunk and they were like in a trance mood. They were literally trance and they were talking and talking and talking. After that, the following day when I was talking to them, they were like, how did I actually say that? Did I actually say that? Like now they want me to give them information about what they were saying to me. Then I don't like those kind of drunk spiritual people. I don't like them. This is personal. I don't like them. But remember that then you know how you are, like how you do your things, right? Remember, everything is about how you do your things. Okay. And hi, everyone there. Hi. Okay. So I was answering our drug healers out here. Who tell people secrets. Okay, Emma is saying the journey is a hard one and lonely one. It can be. Someone is saying sacred clouds. I hope it is a nice one. Is it a sacred cloud? I'll look into that. That sounds interesting. I like that name. I mean, it's funny, but I'll look into that. Sacred clown. All right, I'll look into that. Anyway, someone said, okay, the journey is hard and lonely. Yes. It's a hard and lonely road. Spirituality can be very hard and lonely. Remember that sometimes it is required that you have to be alone, isn't it? Like when I was talking about distraction at the beginning, that in order to avoid certain distractional behaviors, sometimes it's distractions that comes from influence from outside. You have to be separated from all these people, or even you have to be protected by being separated, because you be influencing yourself out there, doing other things that are not supposed to be done. You yourself, not people from outside. You have to be protected from yourself by being taken away from everyone to be put alone so that you can deal with spiritual matters. That is why it can be lonely sometimes. And sometimes when you're in a deep kind of training, you have to be separate. You have to be alone, really alone. And sometimes it even affects us like for me now that, when I'm going through different ascensions where I'm supposed to be alone, and you see me coming here on the live session when I'm supposed to be taking time alone, you'll see when I come here, I'll be like not in a good mood, like my spirit will just be like but even though I want to be amongst the people like me, spiritual people like me, but I'll be like my spirit wouldn't be feeling it, is that. So it happens in different ways for different people. You just have to take yourself from everything from outside. So you deal with everything as you deal with it. And even the things like TVs, watching things like that, listen to information that is not suitable for you, you'll be taken away from that. You see yourself, you cannot even be there watching things, stuff like that, listening to things that are from outside, you understand, information that is not good for you spiritually. So you become, lonely. Lonely. Lonely, but then you'll be, if your people are like good, they'll connect you to someone who, at least sometimes when it becomes too difficult, then you'll have that person who spiritually they will align with you so properly. So you meaning that you, even though you feel alone, but you won't feel too alone, because when you're talking to them, they will be hitting your spiritual beats of things. It happens. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm seeing the differences there, and the difference this side. This side is like a join, and you can, like, things like that. And I'm still working on trying to understand what is actually happening, with what is happening there with these buttons I'm seeing on top. Saying something, unlock something. I can see, I don't understand what's happening there, but something is happening. Beautiful things are happening there, which require me to charge this. Gosh, I'm cold. Okay. 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 Hey, Mama, my problem. Okay, did I miss someone? Okay, they are type of healer and messenger. Okay. All right. Hey, Mama, my problem is headache, and it's been 2 days now. I have painkillers. All I do is pray. Okay. I don't know what kind of headache it is. I remember the first time I've learned about spiritual headaches was Mandawe, after they worked on me, and they talked to me about headaches, and I did a video about it, and their recommendation, that was Mandawe, not anyone. I'm not recommending this. Their recommendation for me at the time, they were saying that Mutsugu help with the Mandawe headache, but I do not know what is happening with your headache, right? I'm just telling about the only time that I've heard spiritual about spiritual headaches were caused by Mandawe. So that's what they were saying to me at the time. Okay, I do remember that anything to do with anything happening that is uncomfortable on your physical body, it needs to be checked. In spirituality comes with a lot of symptoms, but some symptoms spiritual symptoms can come at the same time with symptoms that need medical attention, multi attention, meaning that we can try to deal with it, like as in it will go. Spiritual ancestors, please deal with this, let it finish. But sometimes you might find that it is not ancestors who can deal with the things. Sometimes it's medical people who can deal with the things, right? Medical healers who can deal with the things, meaning that they give you things for the things that are happening to you. Sometimes you need to, as spiritual people, we need to be able to remember that some of our ancestors, some of them, even though they were being given advice to do certain things. They were not taking the advice. That would have stopped things from escalating, for them to even become ancestors. So they died out of ignorance, some of them. So we need to always remember that we need to take care of our physical body, and then the spiritual body will be taken care of by ancestors. So we are people of Mili. So two different things, spiritual and physical. So sometimes physical needs to deal with something that is physical, can be physically be taken, right? To stop things from escalating. So we need to deal with the things, we need to deal with the physical bit and the spiritual things together at the same time, so that everything can nicely align. Okay, all right. That is just me giving you that, because remember, I can't give any advice related to that, anything that is happening that is uncomfortable on your body, unless if something to do with transing, ancestors, communication and stuff. I can give you proper advice and be whole and be excited about it. But when it gets to something that it can be anything else, that's where I can't say much, but just to make sure that you are aware that we do not want to die while partying, right? We need to deal with ancestors and deal with real life issues at the same time. Anyway, okay. Oh, okay. All right. That was the headache I was worried about. All right. I do follow up. They thank me, but feel bad because I'm not used to accessing this knowledge. Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That sounds like a second clown. They sometimes say offensive things to trigger things out of a person they need to hear. Okay, yes, it is lonely and no one around you. Understand? Goga, I think I am. I'm what? A second clown Heyoka. Okay, but they call it Heyoka. I'll look into that. I'll look into that. I can't say something I don't know about. I'm just hearing this for the first time here on this live session. You guys are teaching us a lot of things. There I'm thinking about someone going around, clowning around and being... Anyway, beautiful things we are learning. Remember that if there is a name with the Native American, that means there must be a name with us Africans, because we share a lot of things spiritually. We share a lot of things. Our spiritual knowledge is the same. We actually exchange knowledge with each other spiritually, the Native American and the Africans. A lot of information is the same. We share a lot. We access knowledge from each other all the time. Remember that. So you will be taught a lot in those dreams by the Native Americans if they are not talking to you. If remember, talking to you means that the language as well, they will adjust it to you, to your vocabulary, day to day. Go Orthodox Church, especially Ethiopian original Christian, best spirit never come back. What? Okay. Fatima is saying something about Orthodox Church. Okay. Fatima, you do you. You do you, and it's beautiful. Remember that it's beautiful. Whatever line that you choose, whatever faith that you choose it wisely. And remember that when you're choosing it, do not look at other people's spiritual path and what they believe in as in something that is inferior to yours. We, especially I, hate it, especially when it comes to different faith, when they start undermining the people's original beliefs. I hate it. I cannot stand for that. So I hate that bit. So when we are learning from each other, we need to learn from each other and use the knowledge from each other to see what we can take from what we can use from other people's knowledge and what they can use from our knowledge as an exchange, so that we can be better human beings, but not be undermined, or not be inferior, not be looked down at, not be any other than what we are as capable people who are good and really believe in the good of each other. Right? That is where our ancestors, spirits and guides comes in, because they teach us about that we are like that. We have to look at each other like as equals. We look at each other like people who can share a lot of things with each other. But then the problem becomes in when our people start being killed, and we have to come here with the traumas and start explaining how other people's faith or beliefs have subjugated ours. That is when I don't take the nonsense myself. Anyway, September, but I'm a prayer though. I have dreams of spiritual growth. Okay, that's beautiful. I'm confused. Are my ancestors dead? Oh no! It's not him. It's not him. But don't ever think like that. No! Do not ever think like that about your ancestors. In this channel, we don't think like that. We don't think bad of it. I was replying to you as in talking about the drunks, not ancestors. Do not ever think like that about your ancestors. Don't ever think like that. Do not even ever let anyone talk bad about your ancestors. Never ever think anyone talking bad about your ancestors. Remember, guys, as for me, I do not tolerate anyone who will talk bad about my ancestors. So I don't tolerate that. I don't tolerate that. When it comes to my ancestors, I cannot tolerate, right? So I was talking about you as a person drinking, right? Not ancestors. I'm not like that. Okay, okay, all right. Yes. That's why I was replying to that. Okay, all right. Hayoka's healed through saying crazy but true things to trigger people into thinking and dealing with their problems is not bad if that is the case. Oh, that sound like this one would say that we share a lot of things, because in the spiritual bit of things, I guess even the self-initiate with the Lerato la Moya bit, they're like that, isn't it? They say things to trigger you, crazy things to trigger you, I guess. And then they say things that you don't actually. I think we are dealing with the spiritual hayokas as well. I guess that is how it is like. Tsapeng, that is right, Gogo. Not judging people's faith. Yes. We don't judge. Our spirituality, we don't judge. It's just the experiences that we have with different people and how they look at us that makes us start even be suspicious of them and their intentions when they are coming to us. Divine, 4 women dressed in all white, standing north, south, east, and west. I was in the middle, and they came forward at once and placed their hands on my crown. Felt like an initiation. Oh, sound beautiful. Sound like an opening as well, like they were opening you up. It's beautiful, isn't it? That sounds beautiful. Divine notes. Sound beautiful. It sounds like they were opening you, activating you that bit. That sounds beautiful. Okay. Reed is saying, dear sister, one question, please. I dreamt just like real. I'm wearing clothes all blue. Please advise. Okay. That sounds beautiful. Blue. Blue in my spiritual path, as in blue, this blue comes in as in when you're being shown it, you need to get it, because whatever that comes after, you need a lot of protection with it. I mean, I'm talking about in my spiritual path, since all the people that I work with, blue comes in because whatever that is being revealed, or whatever that they will be dealing with spiritually, you might need a lot of that spiritual, that bit. It might need to be, you need that protection bit of things. whatever that is coming your way, like big information coming. Remember, protection is not about protection because of negative things coming in. Protection as in when something big is being revealed, it's not going to be too heavy on you, you know. Spiritually, it's not going to be too heavy getting to you physically, meaning that where you get information when you wake up, the information that you're being shown or the information that you've been told, it becomes too heavy for you that you drown in it. As in, you can't breathe in it. It's too much information for you. So blue comes in because we are being prepared that when information comes in, you'll get that layer of protection. That layer of protection, that means it comes in, then protect it. When it's coming to it's distilled information that has been said by Sefile before if we tell when. That is the only way that I can explain it in Sotho. Like it becomes it blue, protected, it bumps into it so that when it gets to you, it's not like heavy, it's light coming into you. That's the only way I can explain it. And how are you guys doing down there in the other side? I'm not living in there. I'm still there with you, and I'm here as well. So how are you guys getting on there in the TikTok people? I hope you're doing well. I don't understand what is happening there. I can see people are joining in, but I can see two there, as in two. Doesn't mean two people there. I don't understand it, but something is happening. Anyway, Gogo, I dreamt about Granny who speaks a language I don't know, but I understand all she's saying. My grandparents are from Mozambique. I think she was speaking Portuguese. Okay, whenever she visits me, I feel warmth and happy. Oh, that sounds beautiful, Snatem. That's beautiful. That sounds beautiful. That sounds beautiful. So they'll come and explain themselves to you. Remember Mozambique and Portuguese. Portuguese colonization, right? Meaning that colonizing to speaking Portuguese. So you'll find that our ancestors will come and speak the language of the colony, right? Meaning that the language that they were forced into speaking. And even the songs that will be taught will be the songs that they know, isn't it? Those ones who are coming in, especially like ancestors. They'll teach you songs because when they were doing their traditional things, somehow they put in some Portuguese words, isn't it? Because Portuguese was part of their language, the same way as we are like talking to each other now in English. Now there will be some songs now I'll be including for my grandkids in English, isn't it? Huh? So when I come to them as an ancestor, not only will I come with Sotho songs, there will be some English songs talking about what they call it. There's this song, like a song about the light, this little bit of light kind of thing. I'm gonna make it shine in English in my grandkids' dreams, right? Because I am Sotho, I'll come with the Sotho songs and the songs that I've learned in English. So I'll put them together, isn't it? When I'm an ancestor, so they will hear those songs. So that's what I mean. So even we need to understand this is when I'm saying when we're talking to our ancestors, spirits and guides. So the first thing that they will do when we do our self-inquiry, finding out everything about who we are as people, where we come from. So that means we will learn about the history of our people. So we will learn that some of our people were coming from this particular place. In that particular place, this thing happened. This is when we're learning about the history of people. This thing happened that changed the way that our people lived their lives. When it changed them, they started even adopting new ways of talking. They started adopting new ways of packing, right? They started adopting new ways of doing rituals. They were no longer like as they were before originally. Now they were rituals now adapted to suit the new system that they were now becoming accustomed to, right? So that is when you see that some of our learning from our ancestors, they are not original. They are information that is being adapted because of the things that happened to our ancestors at that particular time, right? But if you get ancestors who were like from original, then you see even the information that they give us, it is original without the adaptation of new system that came in with the system of the Europeans coming into our yards. I'm talking about when we see French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Dutch, those things. So we should know the history of our people so that we don't get confused in that way. I fell in love with this song by Zaida Chongo, Tomaki Tedo. Oh, that sounds beautiful. That sounds beautiful. Zaida Chongo. I'll check it out. I'm like that. Okay, I'll check it out. Yes, so that is the only thing. So I think that we have done what we were meant to be doing as spiritual people. We have learned today about working with both the TikTok and the YouTube this side, and we will try and merge them together as we go on in this spiritual path, and then we'll learn to navigate the two at the same time. And that is how we grow spiritually as well. We grow as in the modern times, and we grow as in spiritually. But remember, all the time, the most important thing, the most advice that I can give you as spiritual people who seek knowledge is that always trust your ancestors, your spirits, and your guides. Me, I can come here and be giving you information or sharing information from my experiences and from my people. But information, beautiful information, will come directly from your ancestors, your spirits, and your guides. And you need to be patient with them. You need to trust that they've got your best interests at heart. And if there's anything that you don't understand, you need to go back to them, reflect to them. Reflections is very important on our spiritual path. Reflection is more like meditation, pre-meditation technique. You reflect on what you're about to do. You reflect on everything that you've received. You reflect on everything. And then there you say it back to your ancestor, spirit, and guide. And you ask what can they put, or what can they add to what you've said, or what can they correct to what you've said, so that information becomes organic. And remember that the whole thing is not only about dream interpretation. It's not about that. The whole thing is about getting stronger as people. Our people, our ancestors, spirits, and guides, their main issue is that we have the grounding. Land is very important for our people. Land is very important for us as spiritual people. So when we are strong, we'll be able to be the safeguarder of that. What is our land? When I'm saying what is our land, I mean that the place that we will be able to go to the rivers for cleansing, the place that we'll be able to get medicine from, mutis from, the place that we'll be able to build in, the place that we'll be able to help guide each other, the place that will be able to make us know who we are, because that will be a place that grounds us. That is land. Ancestors, spirits, and guides, place where we bury them, land. Ancestors, spirits, and guides, where they give us knowledge of the environment, land. Knowledge where the ancestors get us to dress up in those beads, white, green, yellow, gold, copper, all those kind of things that we wear on our necks, we wear on our hands, we wear on our legs. We get it from land. So land is very important. So we need to remember that we have to be strong as people, so that we will look around us. We will try to understand what is happening around us. We'll try to get message from our people to make us strong, so that we will be able to stand up for what is right for us and our people. We'll be able to make sure that our people are not being inconvenienced. Our people, they have no lack of, as in we're talking about issues that we are dealing with as people, unemployment issues, lack of housing, lack of places where people can go and do activities in a way that they want to do activities, places where they can go, walk into the mountains and stuff like that. Land, very important. So our ancestors, spirits and guides, they are here. They are here to make us strong so that we remember that bit of ourselves. That land makes us people, makes us who we are, grounds us. Remember that. So that we don't forget that bit. We don't just look, when we think about ancestors, we don't forget that bit. Where do we bury them? Where do we go and see that there are places where they're buried? It still looks as they were supposed to be looked. Right? Remember that even us, we're gonna need that land so that we can be next to our ancestors. So if there's lack of that bit, that means we're not gonna have to be close to our family members. We're not gonna be close to the people that ground us, right? We're not gonna have a place where we become a community in a particular sport. That place becomes a sacred place. That burial place is a sacred place where we bury our people. But if it's not there, if there is lack of it, we're gonna be being on top of each other, right? Or being separated, as in burial sites, because there is no land where we can put our people in one particular place, right? I'm talking about ancestors, spirits, and guides. So we need to always remember that we should not forget that bit, especially when we're talking about our ancestors, spirits, and guides. When we're talking about spirituality, our heritage, land makes our heritage. Land makes us who we are. Without it, then we become like people who are confused, in a confused state of mind, right? That is what it is all about. So we should always remember that when we talk about our ancestors, spirits, and guides. And hanyang, and Mandawe. Okay.